Welcome back, everybody, on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network. We apologize, but we pick up our stream about 2/3 of the way through the bottom of the second. Led things off, making an out. Jameson Hanna walked, and then Grant Williams made an out, and just like that, here's Grant Witherspoon standing at the left-hand side of the plate. He has a 1-0 count on him with Jameson Hanna standing on second base. Brooks Crawford still out. Work just threw back to keep Hanna on. Stovall covering second base up the middle. Crawford set. Here's the 1-0. Skied high in the air out towards left field. Mangum running back and making the play on the track for the final out of the inning. So an uneventful inning by all standards there.
Except us. We had an eventful inning.
Bit of extra legwork on the broadcast end of things, but we'll be back and we'll do our best to stick around with you over these technical hurdles as they come around. However, the Hyannis Harborhawks able to maintain that 3-3 tie as we head into the top of the third. Reese Hampton, Daniel Robinson, and Micah Coffey, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, due up for Hyannis when we return. So stick around. We'll be here. Welcome back on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network. Chris Lucy and Chris Walker joining you from down the first base line here in Bourne. Durand Park is packed, and the Hyannis Harborhawks are knotted at 3 with the Braves. And Reese Hampton takes a first pitch ball low and away from Leland. Sean is back out for inning number 3. Doing his best to forget the bottom of the second where he surrendered 2 hits and a trio of runs. Deals ball 2 low and inside to Hampton. Reese 0 for 1 today, grounded out to second in the top of the first. And Hampton hits it on the ground out to short. Brown ranges up the middle, throws across the diamond, and there's one away.
Well, better start for Leland this inning. Both pitchers, probably trying to settle themselves down after giving up 3 runs in their last inning pitched. So the third inning is going to be an important inning for both of these teams, pitching-wise, because they both need to keep it right here before it gets out of hand. And I forgot to mention at the end of last inning that the pitch count for Crawford's already at 58 through 2 innings.
And now Leland comes to the set, and Robinson hits one right up the middle, and Leland snares it midair. Throws down to first, and there's 2 away.
Nice play by Leland. Quick hands.
Very quick hands, earning his lunch out on the mound after giving up 3 runs in the top of the second. He's trying to come back with a vengeance and squares up Micah Coffey in the left-handed batter's box. The righty for the Harborhawks. The lefty for the Harborhawks. The righty for the Braves sets and deals in the dirt for ball 1.
Coffey's hitting .368. He's 7 for 19 this season. Good start to his year.
The 1-0, low and away. Count 2-0, and Coffey with a walk on the day. Already has a 2-0 count, so he's been working the count a little bit. Leland sets. Here's the 2-0. Golf down the left field line, foul. That one into the stands, and now the count's 2-1.
Coffey got the last couple of days off before yesterday, and this is a guy that they need to play more because he's been producing for them, and not many people have.
The 2-1, swing and a miss. Fastball darting over the outside corner. Count 2-2. And the 2-2 is just a bit outside for ball 3. Loading the count at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, but 2 down. Leland got off to a quick start here in the top of the 3rd, drawing 2 quick outs. And now he's a strike away from a 1-2-3 inning. The pitch. Check swing and a called strike 3 over the corner. Micah Coffey down looking, and a backwards K ends the top of the 3rd for the Harbor Hawks and brings up the bottom of the 3rd where Scott Schreiber, Lyle Lynn, and Jake Alou are due up for the Bourne Braves. That's the 4, 5, and 6 heart of the order when we return on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks digital network. Stick around. We're knotted up at 3 from Durand Park. Welcome back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks digital network. Chris Walker, my broadcast partner. I'm Chris Lucy. Scott Schreiber striding up to home plate to start off the bottom of this, and Bourne knotted at 3 runs apiece. Crawford is back out to get things going for the 3rd.
Lead off at bat. And Schreiber hit that 3-run home run yesterday.
And he takes the first pitch. Check swing. They look down first base. Mark Lima says he's all safe, and that's a 1-0 count on Schreiber, who got things started off big for the Braves with that 2-run double in the bottom of the 1st. 1. Low and away. Sent high in the air out towards center field. It's chasing Hampton to the track, and 1 step away from the wall, he makes the play. 1 down, and now here.
Well, anytime Schreiber hits one like that, you get worried because of what happened yesterday, but just enough field. Here, maybe at McKeon Park, that ball is gone, but just enough field here for Hampton.
The former Rays draft pick, certainly a handful in the first 2 games of the series between these 2 teams on the season. Lyle Lynn sent right field and through for a base hit. Robinson fields it up the line. First, oh, that's Newstrom out in right field. Newstrom gets the ball in, and Lyle Lynn is on with his first hit of the day. Drew a walk in the 1st, and now here's Jake Alou, 0 for 1 today with a fielder's choice.
After that, hit 1 for 1-6 before this game, so definitely over 300 now.
Side of the plate, Runner on first base is first pitch. Strike, off speed. Hands look like a curve. Count.
I think you and I both had Robinson in right.
Must have been a little defensive switcheroo on us. And the 0-1 that shows of Alou at home plate. We're blocking it. Count 1-1. It's knotted at 3 here in Durand Park, Hyannis and Bourne in game 2 of this home and away. Here's the 1-1. Low and away. Count 2-1. It is pretty gorgeous out here right now. Today started overcast and rainy, but 2 or so. The sun has dried up the infield nicely enough for a game of baseball. The Braves had to do a little bit of extra maintenance, some field dryer out there earlier, but it's worked wonders. And the 2-1 is swung over down to first base. Donovan throws on to second to get the lead runner, and a covering Crawford over at first gets there, but in time. There's choice. There's 2 down.
He gets his on-base percentage way up, but his batting average goes down as he's over 2 on the day, but 2 outs, the runner on first doesn't make that much of a difference unless McCray can hit a home run.
No, but he is 1 for 1 today with a single. He comes up to the right-hand side of the plate. The righty Crawford sets. Donovan holding on the runner at first, and he goes. DiCaprio throws down to second base, and the throw almost gets away from Ford Proctor, who's able to keep it in front of himself and stop it from dribbling into the outfield. Stolen base right there for Lyle Lynn, or for Jake Alou.
That's his second stolen base on the season, the Boston College Eagle.
And just like that, he's in scoring. And McCray with a 1-0 count. Crawford looks back, Alou and deals. A strike. Breaking pitch from Crawford. That curveball working pretty well since a tough first inning, as he gave up 3 in the bottom half of that frame. But the Harbor Hawks able to counter with a 3 of their own in the top of the second and tie things up at 3, where we stand now with the runner on second and 2 down in the bottom of the third. The 1-1 in the dirt. Counts.
Good block by DiCaprio. Save a runner going to third base there.
Indeed. And almost got the stealing Alou, but that throw just a little bit off. DiCaprio with a good arm, but accuracy, again, something that everybody needs. DiCaprio as well. Now the 2-1. Broken bat hit high in the air out towards Hunter Stovall, who steps 1 step into the outfield and makes the play for the final out of the inning. So 1 hit in the bottom of the third, damage done, and 1 runner left on base as we head to the top of the 4th. DiCaprio, Stovall, and Proctor due up when we return on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Stick around. We're tied at 3 here in Bourne. We're back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Lewis, just as we're back, so is Sean Leland getting things started here in the top of the fourth. Hyannis and Bourne tied at 3 from Durand Park. Don DiCaprio at the right-hand side takes a first pitch strike from the righty.
Well, he got on base for the first time this season last.
And for that first hit, that was a strike E2. Swing and a miss, and Lynn missing another one behind home plate.
There's a crazy breaking ball and outside and low.
Was even too far outside for Lynn to glove. That one getting all the way to the backstop and bring DiCaprio to an 0-2. Another one outside. DiCaprio holds up, and it's going to be cast over the field. The sun's still strong as ever, but the hut that has the grill as the 1-2 is fed plate is just casting a shadow just over left field down the third base line. Shadows creeping from both foul lines as the broadcast booth above us is obscuring the first base line as well. So DiCaprio stands at the plate. And Leland deals the 1-2, which is cut on end, missed in the dirt for strike 3.
Well, DiCaprio has not looked good on either of his 2 strikeouts today, and I know he reached on one, but he's been swinging at pitches way out of the zone. Now he's just getting swing happy. He knows he needs that first hit, and now he's just swinging it too much.
For that first hit is Hunter Stovall. He got it in the second inning, and now he stands in the right-handed batter's box. From Leland, sky down the right field line, well foul.
Don't forget, return that foul ball, and you get a coupon for a free Sunday at Friendlies.
Put Stovall behind 0-1. Looks like there are some wind turbines out over the tree line in left center field. The 0-1. Stovall rips it down the left field line this time. That one foul as well. So Stovall putting wood on the ball, but just spraying it a little bit too far.
Chris, they're offering up a free Sunday at Friendlies. If you bring back a foul ball, I might have to leave you.
I hope I can keep you around, man. Come on, I'll miss you down here. The 0-2. Way. Nobody on, one down. Stovall looking down the barrel of a plate. Leland sets and deals one that's in on the hands and past a diving Williams at second base for a base hit. Stovall's second of the day. A razor from Leland, but credit to the slash hitter's hands through it and get just.
All it takes is one hit. Now he's got 2 hits, just like that.
State product on a roll, and he brings up Ford Proctor, who is also on his 1-for-1 on the day with a leadoff that scored a pair of runs. Takes the first pitch outside. Proctor himself came around to score on a sac fly from Donovan. He was the top of the second that knotted this game at 3 where we stand now. Leland still on. Stovall goes, and Proctor hits it up the right field line and through for a base hit. Stovall on his way to third base as Proctor at first, safe and in the corners with 1 down.
Proctor 2 for 2 now. He's really starting to raise those numbers for his hitting after starting slow.
And now Robert Newstrom 0 for 1 today, looking to number on the scoreboard. That, hopefully, for the Harbor Hawks would be the 4th run and the go-ahead run, as this is knotted at 3, but the Harbor Hawks in striking position with runners on first and third and only 1 away.
Proctor hitting 185 now. They're going over his first 14. His first 13, I should say.
Proctor creeping towards the Mendoza line, takes a 2-step lead off of first. And Newstrom hits it on the ground over to second. Williams goes to second for the lead runner as Stovall comes in to score. And Newstrom gets into first base safely and puts the Harbor Hawks on top 4-3.
Well, we talked about this yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before and all the other days before. You got to score in more than one inning to win games, and this is what the Harbor Hawks just have done, and they've scored. That's huge.
And they've taken a lead on the Braves for the first time this season.
And they were down 3-0, which this is a great sign.
Newstrom chased back to first base by a throw from Leland. And here's Brendan Donovan, who's still got no plate appearances on the day, but had a sac fly in the second that knotted the game at 3. He comes up to the lefty batter's box with 2 down. Strike 1 over the inside corner, a ripping fastball about knee level.
That was a good pitch to turn on. I know it was the first pitch of the at-bat, but that was a good-looking pitch.
Leland sets again. Newstrom leading off of first base. And the next pitch is a big hack and a miss from Donovan, down 0-2 with 2 down. Harbor Hawks jumped out ahead here in the top of the 4th, but they're 1 strike away from going down. The 0-2. Called strike 3. That ends the top of the 4th. An incredulous Brendan Donovan heading back towards the Harbor Hawks dugout, and when he gets back out on the field at first base, Spencer Brickhouse, Turner Brown, and Jameson Hanna due up for Bourne when we return, but not before the Harbor Hawks could plate Hunter Stovall on a pair of hits. The RBI single from Ford Proctor, his 3rd RBI on the day, and the Harbor Hawks on top 4-3. We'll be right back here from Durand Park in just a minute. Welcome back on the Hyannis Cyberhawks Digital Network. Chris Lucy alongside the bottom of the 4th. Spencer Brickhouse leading things off for the Braves against Brooks Crawford, who's back out and dealing a first pitch strike. Swinging, and it's 0-1.
Good to see one of our starters back out for the 4th inning. Hopefully Crawford can get through it with no trouble.
In the 0-1. Hit on the ground up the middle. Ford Proctor ranges over, stabs back in, throws across his body, and gets Brickhouse for the first out of the inning.
Wow, that's just very impressive stuff from Proctor. Very impressive play. It's a Derek Jeter right there.
I feel like the 4-3 I just wrote down on my scorebook doesn't do a play like that justice.
No. I'll do a big 4 and a big 3.
Take up 2 spots in your lineup
Yeah.
card. Turner Brown now at the left-handed batter's box. Takes high and inside. Count 1-0. Brown is 0 for 1 on the day.
It's so hard to throw against the grain like that.
Seriously is. Crawford deals ball number 2.
But Proctor had no trouble.
Oh, he's really been a stalwart up the middle, be it at short or at second. 2-0. That one low and away, count 3-0. And Crawford, as we mentioned, Chris, he is getting up there in pitch count.
He was at 70 before this inning.
And there is a rumbling in the Harbor Hawks bullpen. Davis Vayner getting loose. And the 3-0 is low for ball 4.
That's number 76 of the day for Crawford. So, yes, he is up there. I wouldn't imagine he goes many more than 80 today or 85. It's just not necessary in summer ball.
No, definitely not, as everybody coming off of high-stress college seasons.
I remember one day last year, actually my birthday in Danbury, and a guy named Enzo Esposito was at about 115 pitches before he took himself out of the game. He had a no-hitter in the ninth, and he just couldn't go anymore.
Jameson Hannon in the left-handed batter's box waves at a first pitch strike. Off-speed offering from Crawford gets him ahead in the count, 0-1. Runner on first base with one down. That would be Brown. He just walked.
But what I was going to say is you don't need to throw that many pitches in any one game.
Especially when you're not donning your school colors, although his Clemson colors matching the orange and blue of the Harbor Hawks, and the 0-1 is sent high in the air down the right field line. Proctor and Donovan converging on the ball. Proctor calls everybody off and makes the play in foul territory for out number 2.
He's doing it all. He made a great throw, and he made a great catch there. Probably about 60 feet he had to run to make that play to call everybody off. He had a good look at it, though.
Grant Williams.
He did, and he drops Jameson Hannon to 1 for 2 on the day and brings up Grant Williams, who's 0 for 2. Baseman out of Kennesaw State steps up to the dish with a runner on first. 2 down. Hyannis on top 4-3 after a 1 spot in the top of the 4th.
Really settled into this game after the 41 pitch first inning.
And the first offering is hit on the ground up the left side. Stovall dives in the hole, but he cannot get up in time to make the throw to first base. Count that as an infield single for Grant Williams, and there's runners on first and second with 2 away.
Oh, what a play by Stovall, though. He had to range so far to his right to just get to that ball and prevent Brown from going to third, so he did his job.
Exactly. Oh, here comes Grant Witherspoon, the right fielder out of Tulane. 0 for 1 on the day with a walk and an F7. He comes up lefty against the righty Crawford, who deals. Inside. Count 1-0. Ford Proctor's made both outs this inning down at second base. A nice 4-3 play up the hole, and then that F4 down in foul territory, but there's been a walk and a single. The 1-0. A emphatic call from Nick DeMarchi behind home. And it's 1-1.
Strike zone's been pretty fair this game so far, I think.
Safe to say, it's been essentially the same, uniform throughout. Although our streams have changed a little bit, I thank everybody who's listening right now for bearing with our technical difficulties. As Crawford throws down to second base, almost catching Turner Brown sleeping. He slides back in safely and will do the 1-1. Crowd still as big as ever down here in Bourne. A lot of lawn chairs and being made out here in the CCBL tonight.
No reason to leave in a tight game.
The 1-1. Just missing. Slider for Crawford. Just dipping outside of the zone. Count 2-1 with runners on first and second. 2 away, however, here in the bottom of the 4th. Crawford probably on his last legs as his pitch count is getting up there. The 2-1. Golfed out into center, running back towards the wall. He lifts up his glove, and he can't get there. Dribbles all the way to the wall. 1 run will score. Coming around east is Grant Witherspoon on second base, and just like that, the Harbor Hawks are down 5-4.
Again, nobody should leave this game. There's going to be another back and like that's all you could say. Down the middle, almost another home run.
That double brings Chad Gassman out to the top step of the Harbor Hawks dugout. Vane in right field as quickly as he can, and here comes Chad Gassman. He throws out. Looks like this is going to be all for Crawford, who fought valiantly, but his pitch count up too high, and then he left one up a little bit too high for Grant Witherspoon to send out for that 2 RBI double.
No, I agree completely with you. And you know, it was from the Hyannis pitcher Crawford, but at the end of the day, he does give up 5. He was settling in, but then, like you said before, the very last pitch of his outing, he was starting to get tired, and that's what happens.
Coming on for the Harbor Hawks to try and end things here in the bottom of the 4th. It's been a rough one for Hyannis. They've given up the lead. It's now 5-4. Bourne. We'll be back with more on the pitching change and a final line on Crawford when we return on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. We're back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Walker joining me. I'm Chris Lucy. Brooks Crawford was in to start things here. Davis Vayner comes on to finish it.
Vayner from 1.80 ERA this year and 5. Got good numbers. 3 games already. 5 hits, 3 runs, only 1 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. A good relief option. He's available today, and boy, do they need it.
And he deals a first pitch ball low and away to Scott Schreiber, who's 1 for 2 on the day with a 2 RBI double. 2 runs already have passed the plate here in the bottom of the 4th and put the Harbor Hawks down 5-4 as Vayner deals low and away again for ball 2. Runner on second is Witherspoon. He doubled in the 2 runs this inning and chased Crawford from the game. The runner on second is his responsibility, and the 2-0. Breaking ball, missing low and away. So, Chris, final numbers on Crawford, although he fought not today.
Right, he 3 2/3, 5 hits, 5 runs, all earned. The runner on second base is his responsibility. 4 walks, no strikeouts. He did fight. He did fight through his outing. He had a good second inning, he had a good third, and a good beginning to this inning. But he just ran out of gas. His pitch count was 41 after the first inning, and that's what did him in. If it wasn't for that, he'd still be in this game.
3 spot he gave up in the first. Hyannis would still have the lead, and first strike for Davis Vayner is low and outside. It's 5-4 Braves. Their runs coming in the bottom of the 1st and here in the bottom of the 4th. 3 in the 1st and 2 here. However, Davis Vayner 2 strikes away from ending this inning, and he gets a big swing and a miss from Schreiber to get himself a strike away from ending the Braves rally. Vayner now gets the sign from DiCaprio. Runner on second base taking lead. The 3-2 hit weakly right back to him. He takes 1 step off the mound, lightly throws down to Donovan at first for the final out of the inning. So a pair of hits and a walk bring 2 runs across the board for the Bourne Braves and give them the lead right back. It's 5-4 Bourne as we head to the top of the 5th. Top of the order due up for the Harbor Hawks, Jake Mangum, Reese Hampton, and Dan Robinson. When we get back, my play-by-play partner, Chris Walker, will be taking the reins. Stick around. We're back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Lucy joining you here from Durand Park, where Hyannis lost the lead in the bottom half of the fourth, down 5-4 now against the Bourne Braves. But Jake Mangum steps up against a new pitcher to try and get things rolling for the Hawks once again. It's Christian Ryder stepping into the game, 6'5", 195 righty out of the University of Georgia. A couple of SEC guys coming up there. And Ryder deals a first pitch strike to Mangum over the outside corner, going into his senior year at Mississippi State University. And Mangum sends one high into the left center field gap, dropping in for a base hit. Hannah fields it on a hop, and Mangum rounds first base with a single. Hyannis off to a good start in the top of the fifth.
Number 13 from University of North Carolina.
So Ryder's in his second appearance of the season. He pitched 2/3 of an inning and let up a triple, but that's the only hit he's given up, and make that 2 now on the year. Now Reese Hampton coming up, looking for his first hit of today's game. He's 0 for 2. Mangum taking a lead off of first base, held on by Spencer Brickhouse. Hampton stands at the left-hand side, swings at a first pitch, and sends it foul down the third base line as Mangum took off from first. With an 0-1 count, we'll see if Hyannis comes back with the hit and run. So Ryder's in the game for Leland, who finishes with 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs to his name. 5 hits off of him and 5 strikeouts. My color partner, Chris Walker, joins me back in the booth again, and here's the 0-1. High and outside to Hampton, 1-1.
Well, now I was talking to a couple of the scouts over there before I got back, and they're saying that Ryder's thrown about 90. Crawford was only reached.
And the 1-1 is foul.
Plus, I mentioned it was going down. He started about 93, and then it just lost it, and his arm was not ready. It's probably tired from this past season.
Probably is, as you'll find that ailing a lot of pitchers as seasons go on, and a lot of pitchers in the Cape on split contracts, not because they don't want to be here, because they just don't want to be out here, just need rest, and the 1-2 to Hampton is low and away, count 2-2.
No, they need a break too. You play a whole college season, you play this summer league for 44 or whatever games, and then you go back and play another full season a few weeks later. You know, you got to get ready for your season. You play, in the fall, and then you play. It's just too much.
The 2-2. 3. Hampton choked up on his back to take that one, but it nicks the corner, and as a called strike 3 by Nick DeMarchi.
Daniel Robinson.
Well, we're not used to stick out looking. He certainly hasn't done a whole lot of that. In fact, the season, so very, very uncharacteristic.
The 0 for 3, uncharacteristic of him too. Dan Robinson now in the lefty batter's box. Jake Mangum chased back to first base on the throw from Ryder. Mangum reached with a leadoff single.
And that's rare too for Robinson not to have at least one hit to this point. Up there with Hampton for the top of this team.
First pitch coming to Robinson. Slapped foul out of play down the third base line.
Robinson with 10 hits and 28 at bats, now 10 for 30, so he's hitting .333 this year. But he's been one of the key guys on this team that gets the big hits in the big spots. That's why he's hitting 2 and 3 with Hampton.
Also making some spectacular plays out in the field.
Right, getting a half day off today at DH, but his glove, his footwork is excellent out in the field at any position.
Former high school quarterback, very athletic. The 0-1. Hit on a line right into right field, through for a base hit. It one-hops Witherspoon, and Mangum advances to second base on the single by Robinson.
Well, there's Robinson coming back and getting a hit. All is well with him for now. Micah Coffey, who's another good hitter. And this is something Hyannis really hasn't been doing this season, is getting hits in every inning. Now, except the third inning, they have a hit in every inning, and they have a run in 2 innings. They still trail 5-4, but To score 4 runs in only the 5th inning here, that's certainly a plus.
Sure is, and it's been a back and forth game so far. The Braves scored 3 in the bottom of the first. Hyannis countered with a 3 spot in the top of the second, and after Hyannis put up 1 in the 4th to take the lead, the Braves took it right back with 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th, now making it 5-4 Braves, but with 2 on, Coffee takes a first pitch ball in the dirt.
It'd be certainly good if Hyannis could get this game tied up. Only 1 out. A single might score a run if it's deep enough.
Micah Coffee, the man tasked with it right now, with 1 down. Ryder to the set, looks back the runner at second. Mangum takes off from second, and a throw back down from Lynn. Not in time. Both runners advance. Robinson taking off from first after the throw from Lynn. And just like that, Hyannis with 1 out has 2 runners in scoring position.
The old double steal on once Mangum took off. Robinson realized once the throw went down that he might as well just go to second base, and both of them get stolen bases. Good base running.
Charging in down the third base line as strike 1 pours over the inside corner to Coffee.
Hit would be big right now. It might score 2.
There are 2 men in scoring position right now. So both speedsters as well. As I mentioned, Mangum a tear on the base paths, and Robinson no slouch himself. And the 2-1 is ripped foul down the right field line out of play.
Good swing again from Coffee. Just got to straighten it out a little bit, and he would have a tie game or more.
Jumping on the outside fastball a little bit too early.
Chris, I walked through that crowd on the way. It's the coolest crowd I've ever seen at one of these games this year. It's just such like a party atmosphere. Everybody's talking to everybody.
The 2-2. Hit on the ground up the right side of the infield. Mangum comes in to score, and the covering Ryder gets the out at first base, but Hyannis tying it up again. It's 5-5.
Now they've scored in 3 innings and 2 in a row. I think this is at least a tie for the most innings that we've scored in a game, and it's only the 5th inning, and here comes DiCaprio with a chance to give Hyannis the lead again, which would be huge.
Hyannis knotted up with the Braves at 5 runs apiece. Robinson also advancing to third on the ground out from Coffee, who picks up an RBI, getting the job done. Would have been a suicide squeeze had he not swung through. And Ryder gets a strike called with the curveball over the outside corner.
2 strikeouts for DiCaprio today. He did reach on the strikeout and the wild pitch and then scored, but still 2 strikeouts.
That was the first run of the game for Hyannis. Now he stands at the right-handed batter's box. The 0-1. Another breaking pitch. Looked in a similar location on the outside corner around knee level, but not getting the call.
Ooh, that was a close pitch. I thought he was going to get the strike called.
Sure was. Ryder spotting up low on DiCaprio, who holds his bat high over his head. And then the 1-1 is cracked down the third base side, thrown across just in time to get DiCaprio and keep Robinson from putting Hyannis on top. However, Hyannis able to get the tie back in place on a leadoff single from Jake Mangum. Robinson moving him over to third, and then Micah Coffey sending him home. We head now to the bottom of the 5th. Lyle Lynn, Jake Alou, and Logan McCray do up the 5, 6, and 7 spots. And now Chris Walker will take things over. I got a little bit trigger happy there, but he'll take good care of you. We'll be right back from Bourne.
Back on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network, Chris Walker and Chris Lucy. I'm Chris Walker. I'll be taking over for the second half. It's tied 5-5 between Hyannis and Bourne. Davis Vayner's out there for the second inning. 2 outs in the top of the the bottom of the fourth inning. And 1-3 put out after 2 lead, but Hyannis is tied. We go. Lyle Bourne, who sits atop the division at 5-2. And Vayner's through 1/3 of an inning. And his first pitch of the fifth is called strike one. Looked like an off-speed pitch, and here we go into the bottom of the fifth. The stretch. Second pitch is fouled off, hit off the brick. Right back to Vayner, and it's 0-2. He'll ask for a new ball.
Classic brick backstop here down in Bourne.
A lot of stadiums have that brick, more than I thought would.
The staple of the Cape.
So it's 0-2 to Lynn, who's 1 for 1. He walked and singled. He grounds it up the middle and threw for a single, make it 2 for 2, and that's a leadoff single. There's a man on with nobody out for Jake Alou.
Chalk up Lynn probably as the longest traveler today as well. He's well far away from home, 7,776 miles away from his native Taipei City, Taiwan.
And we talked yesterday, he's the first Taiwanese player to ever be drafted ever in the history of the world.
Hit history standing just off of first base.
So the first pitch to Alou is bunted foul right to the dugout of Bourne. 0-1.
And Chris, I also thought this was interesting by the fact that Lynn being drafted by the Seattle Mariners, the first hired an Asian American manager in Don Wakamatsu.
Good to see.
Yeah, it's good on the Mariners.
Pitch is in the dirt. It hits DiCaprio, and everybody stays put. Lynn is at first still. That ball didn't look like it exactly hit him in his chest protector. It looked like it hit him in the leg. But no damage. 1-1 count.
Looking stoked behind home plate, just trying to shake that one off. Definitely not an easy one. Home plate umpire now brushing off home plate to give the backstop just a little bit more time to heal.
It's another good gesture like we've seen so many times this season from umpires and catchers. And we'll do it 1-1 here with Vayner against Alou. The 1-1 is hit into right field and fair down the right field line. It goes all the way to the wall. Getting there is Newstrom. He can't pick it up. Staying at third. Oh, he should have gone home. Was Lynn, but he thought Newstrom got the ball in, so it's only a double and no RBI for Alou. But still, there's 2 on for Bourne, and they threaten with Logan McRae, the DH, due up. I can't believe Lynn didn't score, but he stopped already in the infield.
Well, his manager down the third really discerned it either. He wasn't waving Lynn around, and he held up the catcher wrongfully, as could have easily been the go-ahead run.
With 2 on for McRae, who's 1 for 2. First pitch gets away from DiCaprio, and there's the go-ahead run. As scoring is Lynn. It's 6-5 Bourne on the wild pitch.
Just what a rough spot for the Harbor Hawks right there, Chris. Vayner just barely missing with the curve and crossed up again. This is the first time we've seen that with DiCaprio. It's just been a little bit tough.
Pass ball is what they call it. DiCaprio got a big piece of it with his glove. Looked like another cross-up.
Hard to get to know staff of pitchers after you come off a long season, trying to get to know your teammates down at Rice in DiCaprio's case.
The 2-0 from Vayner is fouled back to the netting, and it's 2-1. Because we'll get to getting a souvenir today. Tell you what, in Falmouth the other day, we could have gotten one easily. There was just a fence, no netting.
We have a few more games left there.
For sure. This one misses 3-1. So Vayner having some trouble here. He's already given up 1 run. It was the pass ball that scored Lynn to give Bourne their lead back, 6-5 now. And a runner on third, still nobody out. The pitch is outside, ball 4. And just like that, there were 2 on again with nobody out for Spencer Brickhouse. Brickhouse 0 for 2 today. And see, I knew I wrote the big 4-3 for a reason. He wrote to Proctor, but it was a great throw by Proctor against the grain, going backwards, having to throw the ball to first to get him out. And he has a chance with 2 on and no one out to extend the lead. The first pitch is in the dirt, gets stopped by DiCaprio, 1-0. Saved the run. But this is another one of those games between these two teams. It's just trading runs. Been runs scored in each of the last 2 innings by both teams. The pitch is low, 2-0.
Hawks get a little bit of an earlier start as it took them all the way to the bottom of the 8th to really get going offensively before shut the bottom of the 9th.
Man, that was last night. This game's a lot better. There's a ground ball. 2 is fouled off, though, and it's now 2-1. But, yeah, this is a much better sign, Chris, than yesterday. But they keep giving up runs, and they still find themselves down. The offense has been there, though. This one low again, 3-1. Oh, my goodness, so many pitches in the dirt from Vayner here. DiCaprio's done a great job just to keep them in front of him and prevent another run. 3-1 is fouled off. It'll be a full count. That's third base side out of play. Lots of heads up as the ball bounces towards the parking lot, which has a roof on it, which is a cool touch here. Mark.
Yeah, solar panel on top of that roof, so hopefully impervious to foul balls.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Vayner drops the curveball down, and that's the first out of the inning. Turner Brown will step in now 0 for 1. We'll have a meeting at the mound. That's Coach Polk out to talk to everybody. You don't always see. He's not there to talk to the pitcher, I'll tell you that. He's there to talk to the whole infield, is Coach Polk. And we talk about Ron Polk every day, every single game being the coach you want to have in this league.
Seriously, for all these players coming up, even after games, if you're not on the Harbor Hawks, I've seen a lot of players from other teams, and namely the other SEC guys who kind of know what's going on, approach Coach Polk and just try to talk baseball, try to glean as much from him as they can, because he's really just a legend as he walks back down to the first base dugout. Over 1,000 wins as the head coach of Mississippi State, and opening the pipeline to Mississippi State for these Harbor Hawks who have 3 Bulldogs in their lineup.
His brain. I'm sure a lot of people have. The first pitch to Brown is a called strike 1. Looked a little bit faster than the 90 that he was hitting last inning. Count 0-1 to Spencer Brown. He squares around the bunt. The pitch is low, and it's even at 1-1. Brown did score in the 4th. We're only in the bottom half of the 5th here. It's been a long game, almost 8 o'clock. It's 7:49. Breaking ball outside, 2-1. Only 1 out, 2 on. Still a threat here for Bourne.
Vayner needs to jump back in this count.
The 2-1 is just a bit low and away, and it's 3-1. Vayner's in danger of loading the bases. Vayner looks in at DiCaprio. They've had some trouble getting on the same page. Here's the pitch, low and inside, and that's the second walk of the inning given up by Vayner, and the bases are loaded with Braves.
Number 12 from Dallas Baptist.
Go ahead.
They've already had a run cross the plate this inning, and now it could be getting hairy with Jameson Hanna coming up to the dish again. He had that leadoff double to get things started.
Chad Gassman out, and he's going to go with a new pitcher, and that's going to be it for Vayner. They've got throwing in the bullpen, and they're going to go to one of them, and that's the end of the day for Vayner. We'll have his numbers as well as the numbers on the new pitcher when we come back on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network. The new pitcher for Hyannis is Tristan Barlow, 6'1", 205, lefty from Mississippi State. Chris Lucy has more numbers on the new pitcher.
Well, Barlow got his CCBL season off to an inauspicious start against the Falmouth Commodores several days ago. Could only get one out, and he walked in a run. 4 walks in that inning, and then 4 of those guys came around to score eventually, 4 earned runs on the season, and 1 strikeout, just really not redeeming that, as he has a 108 ERA. A bit of a misnomer, but definitely not how you want to get your season started.
He had 4 walks in that game, and I believe walks in the inning drove in 2 runs, not all by him, but Barlow can only get better from here. We're in the bottom of the 5th. 1 run across. The bases are loaded with 1 out for the top of the order, Jameson Hanna. The first pitch from Barlow on the way. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Looked like the slider, and it's 0-1. It's the best pitch he's thrown all season. And something was definitely up in the first game, so that's so uncharacteristic of Barlow. Pitch is low, 1-1.
Well, he's getting a lot of depth on his breaking stuff now, which is good. I mean, the only depth that we had on it earlier against the Commodores was sending it, bouncing in front of home plate, almost on the grass of the infield.
1-1 the count. Pitch is outside, 2-1. A walk would be no good. That would walk in a run, and it would be the 3rd of the inning. All of these runs are the responsibility of David Vayner, who left after just 2/3 of an inning pitch, 2 hits, 2 walks. And he already has 1 run charged to him. The 2-1 is a breaking pitch hit into left field, and the play is made by Mangum, and they draw a throw, and it got away. Nearly enough to score a run, but DiCaprio blocks it just in time. It's a dangerous throw from Mangum, but they do get the out, and there are 2 away for Grant Williams.
Yeah, just chasing Micah Coffey a little bit too far up the foul line. Couldn't get there, but what a laser from Mangum. I thought for sure that would send Jake Alou tagging up.
Well, if he tagged up, he might have scored because that throw did get away, but a safe play to stay where he was for the man on third and McRae. So it brings up Williams, who's 1 for 3, excuse me. First pitch is low for a ball 1-0. Base is still loaded with 2 outs for Bourne. They have 1 run in the inning. It gave him a 6-5 lead. And Barlow breaking pitches a check swing. They don't check down to third. But the count is 2-0. Surprised the coaches don't tell them to check.
Would be the first time Chad Gassman got on the case of an umpire.
Barlow already matching his innings total from all of this season. That pitch way outside, and it's 3-0. And again, a walk would score a run.
Gut check time for the big lefty.
It's been a tough game. The Hawks have stayed in with their hitting. Only down by 1, 6-5. Here's the 3-0 from Barlow. It is low, ball 4. He walked in a run. He walked in a run for the second straight game.
Same old story, same old song and dance, Chris. Barlow just unable to keep his stuff up. He's just going too low. Of course, the breaking stuff with a lot of depth on it, as I mentioned, it just keeps dropping, but you need to release it a little bit higher if you want to keep it in the strike zone.
McRae on third, Brown on second, and Williams on first. And this is Grant Witherspoon, who is 1 for 2 with a walk and a double. It takes called strike 1. There's a good sign. So make it 2 earned runs on Vayner for the day. The 0-1 is in the dirt, 1-1. That was the kind of pitch that he was throwing in the last game he pitched in was Barlow. He was just bouncing it before they got to home plate. 1-1 the count to the 3-hitter Witherspoon. Grounded foul first base side. It's 1-2 and 1 strike away from getting out of this inning are the Harbor Hawks. They're down 7-5 now.
In a tough spot are the Hawks, but Witherspoon standing at the plate is multi-sport athlete. Played some high school basketball, was a legend at his home high school in Jefferson County.
The 1-2 is low. It's back even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're only in the bottom of the 5th. It's 7:58. 2 hours to play 5 innings. Right, for this game. 7-5, already 12 runs scored. Bourne and 7 for Hyannis. The count is 2-2. It's low and away, and the count is full again. And 1 pitch away from walking in another run is Barlow.
It just keeps dragging on and on because of just the offensive onslaughts we see in all of these innings. Back and forth, back and forth.
Well, 3 walks in an inning is not a good thing, and pitch away from 4 walks in an inning are the Harbor Hawks. Here is the 3-2. It's fouled off. Breaking pitch. The runners were on the move with a full count and 2 outs. We'll do it again. Big payoff pitch is a big spot in this game. Already down 2. The Harbor Hawks can't afford to either give up a big hit or walk in another run. Barlow is set. Runners go. It's popped up into center field. Hampton's under it. makes the play for the final out of the inning, and no further damage as 8 batters do come up. And 2 more runs come across for Bourne. They lead 7-5 after 5. We had to head to the 6th. 7-5 Bourne over Hyannis on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network. We're back on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Walker and Chris Lucy bringing it to you live in Bourne at Durand Park. Stovall, Proctor, and Newstrom will get it started for the Harbor Hawks. They have scored 1 run in each of the past 2 innings. The only problem is Bourne has scored 2 in each of the past 2 innings. They lead 7-5. Christian Ryder is still out there for Bourne, and the first pitch to Stovall is a ball, 1-0 the count. 7 hits to this point for Hyannis, but they still trail by 2. Pitch is lined right back up the middle. Base hit. 3 for 3 goes Stovall, and he's officially hot.
Finally getting his hitting streak off to a start here in Hyannis. The slash hitter really can do a good job putting the ball on the ground, and with his speed, leg out singles into doubles and so forth.
From Rice University, Ford Proctor.
Well, the chalk for the lines in the batter's box have all but disappeared, with the dirt a little bit muddy from the rain. Ford Proctor is 2 for 2 as well. Triple. And a single run scored as well. He shows bunt. It's a ball. 1-0. This is the part of the order that's been getting it done, these two. 5 for 5 in this game. 1-0 from Ryder on the way, and a bunt, and a good bunt put down. The third baseman fields and fires the first in time. The sacrifice is successful. Moving to second is Stovall, and with 1 away brings up Newstrom, who's 0 for 1.
That 5 for 5 staying intact, and Proctor almost legging that one out as well, showing off a little bit of speed in front of a loaded section of scouts behind home plate.
So Newstrom is 0 for 1. He had a sac fly in the 4th, scored a run, and he struck out looking in the 2nd. Has a chance to drive in a big run here, or perhaps tie it up with a home run. He had a home run last night. It was a solo shot. First pitch is outside, 1-0. Thank you, everybody that decided to take time out of their Saturday and listen to us. Work with us through some technical difficulties earlier, but we seem to be doing okay now. And 1-0 on the way from Ryder to Newstrom. They'll throw back to check on the runner, and it's not in time. Stovall had a pretty good lead out there at second.
Gets in by his fingertips, too. A nice tag applied out there.
So we'll do it again, 1-0. It's still nice and warm out here. Sun's starting to go down, but it's just as nice as it was when we got here. It's very comfortable. 1-0 is right in there for called strike 1. And it's 1-1.
really couldn't ask for a better night for baseball, Chris. Is just there's a big fan contingent and perfect weather to watch a game.
I keep smelling food too. They probably got good food. Got a big concession stand out in left field. The count is 1-1, and calling time is Newstrom. The rider already started his windup. It's 7-5 Bourne over Hyannis in the top of the sixth. Is 2-1. But Newstrom in there, down in the count, trailing by 2. Riders ready. Here's the pitch. It's grounded towards second. Williams has it, throws to first in time, 2 away. The runner, Stovall, moves to third. And it brings up the 9-hitter, Brendan Donovan, who's 0 for 1 with a sack as well. And another strikeout. With a chance to drive in run number 6, which is just 90 feet away, and give us the same score we had last night, but only the 6th inning.
If Donovan can get himself on base, that's going to cut into this Braves lead.
Unless he walks.
That too.
He'll take it. First pitch is fouled into the dirt in front of the catcher, Lynn, and it's 0-1.
Donovan will take it. It's been a tough beginning. Now we're back on
There
the
we
air.
go. Thank you for bearing with us. The Wi-Fi here in Bourne is less than perfect. We'll be back home tomorrow, though, for a doubleheader against Scituate.
Oh, yeah.
The 2-2 is fouled off, and Donovan stays alive.
Yep, we'll be back there for 2. Start of the Patriot series between the 2 teams native to Barnstable, Massachusetts.
Hyannis needs 2 wins tomorrow.
They do. Get out of the cellar of the Western Division.
They go from 3 wins to 6 wins in 2 nights if they win tonight and win both tomorrow. They can go to the top of the league. His calling time is Donovan.
Be a quick turnaround for the Harbor Hawks, as you can witness all that if you subscribe to our YouTube page, Hyannis Harbor Hawks. You'll get a live update every time we go live here in the Hyannis Harbor Hawks digital network.
The 2-2 is grounded right back to the pitcher Ryder. I'll tell you what, that was a good stab, though. It was over his head, and he throws on the first in time. No runs scored and 1 hit. A couple guys move the runner over, but Stovall does not get to score. Goes down 1-3 to end the top of the 6th. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Still 7-5 Bourne on the Harbor Hawks digital network. Back on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Tristan Barlow back out for his second inning of work. He has not allowed an earned run. He did walk in one. It's the responsibility of Davis Vayner, who finishes 0.2 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 earned runs. 7-5 Bourne. Schreiber, Lynn, and Alou due up. Barlow's first pitch is way in, and it's 1-0 to the leadoff hitter in the inning, Schreiber, who had a double back in the first and scored and hit a 3-run home run last night. He's had a good couple of games here against Hyannis, and he grounds one foul here, 1-1. That was back towards the dugout of Bourne.
Schreiber's night tonight, not unlike last night. As you said, the big knock to start things off for the Braves, but then going hitless in the 2 at-bats that come after the big knock, both last night and tonight.
1-1, and this one is going to be another hit. It's into deep left center field. It gets all the way to the wall, going to second with a stand-up double. A leadoff stand-up double is Schreiber. He's got 2 doubles tonight.
And it's deja vu all over again after those 2 hitless at-bats last night. Schreiber came back with a single, and after going hitless in the 2 at-bats after the double tonight, he hits another double. So those of you who are superstitious can point your fingers right at me for the jinx.
And it brings up Lyle Lynn, who's had himself a nice day. He's 2 for 2, a walk, a couple of runs. And Lynn just continues to produce for this team. He's been one of their big hitters all year. No surprise as to why he was drafted. So Barlow in some trouble. No one out, man, on second. The first pitch is hit into right center. Newstrom over to make the play. The throw is cut off by Stovall. Going to third is Schreiber, and with 1 out, there's a man on third for Jake Alou.
Even making an out, Lynn gets the job done. It just shows that he has a bright future ahead of him, not only at Arizona State, where he's going back for only his sophomore season after this summer here on the Cape, but in the game of baseball in general, as already drafted out of high school. Just a lot of promise attached to him, and the first Taiwanese player ever drafted. So he's got a country back home that is certainly proud of everything he's doing out here in the States.
First pitch to Alou is a called strike 1, and he keeps his batting average perfect for the day, too. 2 for 2 with a walk and a sac fly. Alou is 1 for 3. He has a double run scored, and he grounded into 2 fielders' choices to start the game and stole the base as well. The pitch is a check swing, ball's in the dirt. And they say he did not go around. Luis de Luis over at third.
Well, Chris, this isn't the only game going on in the Cape right now. Katuitt is at home against Yarmouth Dennis at the moment, and in the top of the ninth, they lead 9-2.
Who does?
Katuitt.
Oh, my. Yarmouth Dennis 6-1-1. They're in first in the whole league. This one's a breaking ball called strike 2. Katuitt had to go and beat them, didn't they?
They sure did. They'll be going into tomorrow's doubleheader with a little bit of a hot streak on their hands. Harwich and Orleans also underway, bottom of the 7th. Harwich on top, 4-2.
One team we haven't played yet either is Orleans. Now, I think we've played everybody but YD, Orleans, and Katuitt.
It's about right. Falmouth and Wareham also underway. Bottom of the 5th, it's 4-3 Commodores, and Brewster and Chatham playing at the moment. Brewster on top, 3-2 in the bottom of the 3rd at Veterans Field in Chatham.
Time called here. Stepped out. There's been a lot of that tonight. It's been a slow one. There's no way around that. It's 8:15. We're here in the bottom of this. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The ball is in the dirt. The throw to DiCaprio is in time, and there are 2 outs. It's a strikeout and a 2-3 putout, and it brings up Logan McRae. Barlow seems to have settled himself down.
Good to see as the Harbor Hawks are just really at a loss for arms as they just shipped off Matt Murtis yesterday. He came in and pitched a couple of innings against the Commodores. Now he's off of the team, back in the NECBL.
By any chance, do you know what team he's with?
Not sure.
Wonder if I'll start hearing that name thrown around Danbury.
We'll see. I think he's still shopping around for a landing spot out there.
NECBL is another great league, though. Had a lot of fun in that league. It's 1-0 to McRae. Breaking pitches a bit high, but it's a called strike one. Count is even 1-1. So Barlow has a chance here to get his confidence back up and get the coach's confidence back up in him if he can get out of this. Schreiber's on third with 2 away. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch. And the count is 1-2. And the Harbor Hawks looking for their first clean inning since the third. Clean meaning no runs scored. They have not recorded a 1-2-3 yet. And they will not this inning either. One-two pitch. Outside corner, strike 3 called. And Barlow gets out of a mini jam. We head to the 7th inning. Still 7-5. Bourne leading over the Harbor Hawks. We'll be right back on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network. The new pitcher, as we're back on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network for Bourne, is Carter Henry, number 36, out of Houston. Chris Lucy has more on Carter Henry.
6'4", 220 pounds, coming off of a big freshman season down at Houston, where he struck out 40 in 40.1 innings pitched and had a 2-1 record to his name.
So we're in the top of the 7th finally.
Leading off,
we are in the third of this game. It's 8:20 p.m. We've been at it for 2.5 hours nearly, and it's been a fun game. Harbor Hawks are only down 7-5. Still within striking distance. They got the top of the order due up: Mangum, Hampton, and Robinson, and another chance to cut back into this 2-run deficit and perhaps tie it up.
Well, they have fresh meat on the mound. Henry hasn't made himself a CCBL appearance yet this season.
See how he can do here. Starts from the windup, and pitch number 1 is way upstairs. It's at the head of Mangum, and it's 1-0. I don't know what it is about the Cape, but it seems like guys' first appearances have not been good in games that we've seen. It's called strike 1 is dealt there, at least for Hyannis, but for some other teams too, the first appearance. I don't know, maybe it's the allure of playing in this league that gets to the players, pitchers, and hitters.
It's daunting.
The 1-1 nearly hit Mangum, and it's 2-1.
It's almost like playing an all-star team everywhere you go, because these coaches with the CCBL kind of aura to them, they come in and they just handpick their kids.
2-1 is inside as well, and it's a 3-1 count to the leadoff hitter, Mangum.
I mean, look at this. We have 2 pros pro prospects in front of us. Henry, a former 40th round draft pick of the Red Sox. Mangum, a Yankees draft pick.
These guys are. They have the ability to go pro. There is a called strike 3 and 2. Both of the guys we're watching in the pitcher versus hitter are guys that could have signed and been pro.
They're about as close to it as they can get right now without making any money for being out here in the Cape, but a summer well worth the experience.
Full count. The pitch is grounded towards second. Bobbling the ball is Williams, and reaching first on an error is Mangum. That's going to be an E4. Mangum will get an 0 for, but he still gets himself on base, and that's all that really matters. And Reese Hampton 0 for 3 will step in now.
Now pitching for the Braves, number 36.
We got the pitcher before the PA did. Very good. There we go.
On top of our stuff out here down the first base line. A bit closer to the field than the PA guy is.
Those big red letters for the Bourne team. Helping me out at least. So here's Hampton. Again, he's 0 for 3 today. I mean, his numbers this season have been so good. He's hitting .405 before this game. He's now 15 for his first 40, which is still very good. A hit would certainly keep things moving and be a great thing for this Harbor Hawks team. Down by 2, he is the tying run as we're in the 7th. It's starting to get dark. Lights come on. Still very, very warm, very comfortable. 1-0 the count as that pitch missed high. It'll be a 1-0 with a man on, nobody out. Pitch is a called strike 1. And Henry has a slide step when he's in the stretch. He really doesn't lift that left leg up at all. A lot of pitchers do that. I know when I play wiffle ball, that's what I do. I slide step it. Pitch is a swing and a miss. The runner goes, and it is in time. Thrown out trying to steal. That erases the threat of men on base. And it's a 1-1 count. That's not what the Harbor Hawks needed at a time like this.
No, and that is the second time Mangum has been thrown out stealing today.
Did have one steal in between those two caught stealing. Pitch is low. It's 2-2. I misspoke before when I said it was 1-1.
That being true, however, Mangum not even sliding into second base when the play was, he knew it was going to be close.
A slide probably would have gotten him in there.
Easily.
2-2 is in the dirt. It got behind Lynn. Now it's a full count. We've seen a couple of those tonight from both sides. Another frustrating end of an at-bat, so to speak, for Mangum. He gets on base on an error. And then he tries to steal and do something good for himself and his team, and he gets thrown out, and now there's one out, nobody on.
Wild pitch probably would have gotten him to third base.
What if? 3-2 pitch is fouled off third base side, out of play, and the kids are all on top of it or under it.
Hopefully not on the fly. That would be a heck of a shiner to bring home.
Unless they got their gloves, and a lot of them do. And there's still a big crowd here today. Everybody's got their lawn chairs set up on the third base side grass. What a cool setting for a game. This one is lined towards second. Williams makes a nice play and throws on to first in time. That was a good play to make up for the error, and he doesn't get hurt by it anyways. They're two-way.
Feeling that one cricket style, having to go underhand to just get it off the one hop, hit off the infield lip of the grass, and smooth play, keeping his cool. And
so Hampton 0 for 4. It's not very common from him, but everybody has an off day. Here's Daniel Robinson. He's 1 for 3. Single, stolen base back in the 5th. A pop out and a ground out as well. First pitch is a breaking ball. It didn't break. It stays up high, 1-0.
Mangum being thrown out, Chris, really changing the complexion of this inning, as that wild pitch probably would have advanced him anyway, and then Reese Hampton just hitting it to the right side of the infield might have scored him.
And it could have been 7-6. And you got to think about that stuff at this point because it's getting late in the game, believe it or not. It's been a slow one, but we are in the 7th already, and you can't waste chances. And the Harborhawks really haven't wasted much in this game. They've scored in 3 innings, and this one low, it's now 3-0 to Robinson. But that's the first time they've wasted something, and it's when they needed it most.
True, but we had a 7-6 game last night, 5-7. It's off to a good start, this rivalry between the Braves and the Harborhawks.
4-pitch walk given out to Robinson, and there's some 2-out life for the Harborhawks with Micah Coffey due up. He's 0 for 2 with a walk, a strikeout, and a fielder's choice. In need of a hit here to prolong the inning. And Lynn will go out and talk, and so will the pitching coach to Henry. They'll talk about some strategy, most likely. Robinson started this season off very, very well, hitting .357. And he's got another hit tonight. 1 for 3.
Well, I love consistency for a Harborhawks team that's really lacked it from the plate.
I mean, the .333 for tonight will lower it. But because that's just because he's 1 for 3. But 1 for 3, he'll take it.
1 for 3 every night has you in the All-Star game.
Easily. Robinson certainly should be a candidate. So should Hampton. So should Mangum. Stovall's making his case already with the 3 hits tonight.
Been making his case with the glove all season, even when the bat wasn't there.
Pitch is inside and dropped. Runner goes, and Robinson's got his 2nd stolen base of the day. And it's a ball and no strikes to Coffey. Another perhaps all-star could be Weiss. From pitching-wise, he's been the only guy that's given them 2 appearances and has been great in both. 1-0, the man on second is fouled off. It's 1-1. It was fouled off straight back towards Justin Galanti, the Bourne broadcaster, up there in the press box.
Friend of yours.
Good friend of mine from the NECBL last year. He was Ocean State's guy. One, long look in for Henry. Robinson's off second. Pitch is fouled off again, and will be 1-2 now. Same real spot for the foul off. He's on top of the pitches, is Coffey. Just needs to straighten one out and get a run in here.
2nd team All-Big Ten this year was Coffey. 2nd year in a row. He's no slouch.
One and two, and it's looped foul, just foul down the left field line. That would have scored Robinson easily. And so we'll do it again, 1-2. Good hit. Sliced down the left field line.
Just a little bit late. Didn't get the hands through, and as he just rolled the wrists to the ball, put that slice on it that made it go foul.
Or it's going to be warmer at night now. We can feel it tonight. By now, last week, it would have been cold. Or both. Now it's 2-2 as that one misses high.
Makes it easier too is the wood just loosening up a little bit, not really hurting so bad when you get one off the end or in on the hands.
Not real humid today. Nice
from those wood bats.
One looped in the left field, but foul. And they count 2-2. Good battle here from Coffey. He knows that.
Strong average hitter, batted .340 in his college season with the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Dom DiCaprio would be next. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Henry wins the battle. No runs score, and no one had a hit. One left on will go. to the bottom of the seventh to get up and stretch or eat a hot dog. And we'll be back for the bottom of the seventh on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network. We're back on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network. The bottom of the seventh coming up. Back out there for another inning of work for the Harbor Hawks. It's going to be Brickhouse, Brown, and Hannah. Chris, you got to explain to me why you like Fetty Wap.
He's got a unique voice. I almost heard him played over the loudspeakers here today, but they cut it off.
You were to be denied. That was mean of them. What are you going to do?
Win some, you lose some.
It was just interesting because I haven't heard anything from Fetty Wap lately.
We up in Syracuse. He snubbed us this year.
One is hit into deep right field, but the Newstrom was playing back, and that's the first out of the inning. Couple of balls hit hard off of Barlow, but hard. That's important.
That right field corner getting some use as well. Newstrom.
He's made a lot of plays out there. Turner Brown now up. He's 0 for 1 with 2 walks. He's scored a run. Thank you once again, everybody who's stuck with us, as there's called strike one. We've gone down a couple times because of some spotty Wi-Fi. But we're here. Thank you for joining us. The 0-1 from Barlow on the way. And that's in there for called strike 2, 0-2. Barlow definitely lowered that ERA from 108 down to maybe 20-something.
He's working quickly here.
The 0-2. Breaking ball upstairs just a bit. And outside. Now 1-2. And if he pitches a clean 7th, he could lower his ERA.
Give the Harbor Hawks a hand as well, as they're strapped for arms in that bullpen.
1-2 is low and in, and we're even at 2-2. Brown, no stranger to the walk with 2 already today.
No stranger to the RBI either. Had a 4 RBI game against College of Charleston this year.
6 walks all year as well. Trike gets a go there, and there are 2 away for the leadoff man, Jamison Hannah.
1 for 3 with a walk, and that leadoff double came around to score. And
Barlow looking sharp this outing after walking the first man he saw back in the 5th. Before recording the final out. First pitch is low. It gets through the 5 hole to Capper. I had to. It's 1-0.
Walks have been a big theme with Barlow this year as well, as he put 4 men on base for free in his CCBL debut.
One-zero is another breaking ball low, but it's swung on and missed. 1-1. I had to throw the one hockey reference in there. It would have been a goal too.
Oh yeah. The tools of ignorance transferring from the baseball diamond to the hockey rink, where your heart lies.
The 1-1 is grounded towards first. It's going to be a tough play, but getting there just in time. Wow, what a play. Donovan with a great flip over to Barlow. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Down in order. Imagine that go the Bourne Braves. It goes 3-1, and we head to the 8th. 7-5 Bourne over Hyannis on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
University, Kyle Marmon.
So there is a new pitcher for the Bourne Braves. It's number 30, Kyle Marmon from Florida Atlantic. 2 innings pitched this season, no runs allowed. Chris Lucy's got more on him.
Coming in at 6'3", 225 pounds, pitched in 20 games for Florida Atlantic this year, 2-2 record, 28 innings pitched, and 31 Ks to only 12 walks and an opposing batting average of .252.
Good stuff. He's going to face DiCaprio, Stovall, and Proctor. These three, well, DiCaprio got it started in the second. You got to give him credit. Still doesn't have that hit. She's desperately looking for. Stovall and Proctor are 5 for 5 combined. Doesn't get much better than that.
No, sir.
So here's the first pitch, a bunt shown, but pulled back in time, and the pitch was high 1-0. Now, DiCaprio is in a terrific slump. He just can't get anything. He's 0 for 19 to start the season, and he'd love a hit here. He pops one up foul off the light pole. We might get one. Grab that ball. Grab that ball before the kids get it. We almost got one. I wanted the free ice cream. I almost got one and a free ice cream.
Free ice cream offered to anybody who gets a foul ball.
Now the kids are, I'm telling you, the kids at every stadium are so fast. They just shoot right out of a cannon and grab the ball. They don't even care that your hand is even close. Like, get out of here.
It rolled right over to me, and they ran and got it before I did.
They're like, get out of here. I want the ice cream. It would have. Now, our writer, Matt, would have had a perfect chance at one if he didn't win something from the 50-50. That's just lovely. He won the ferry as the pitch is cut on and missed strike 2. It's 2-2. He would have had that and a souvenir if he had stayed put. Now, Chris, that was as close as we're going to come until we get one.
That was a close call for everyone in the stands.
2-2 swing and a miss. 0 for 20 is DiCaprio to start his season. There's one away. Back to the actual game. Well, that was fun. We had some excitement over here. The ball landed about 5 feet to the left of my girlfriend, Melissa, who's behind me. Now, if she had a glove on, she probably could have made the catch. And it brings up Hunter Stovall. First pitch, broken bat. It's going to nearly get through, but the throw not in time. I would give him a base hit. For Stovall, a diving play made by Williams, and I think it's going to be, well, how are they going to score this? We'll see. John Cabral would have scored at a hit, but he's not the official score today. They call it a hit. So it's a 4 for 4 day for Stovall. Doesn't get any better than that. 4 singles, a couple of runs scored.
And Stovall advances to second base as well off of interference with the first baseman. Brickhouse getting in his way as he rounded over to first base.
So it's a hit and an error. The error sends Stovall to second. The new pitcher, if you missed it, is Kyle Marmon, number 30. In case the ball falling, distracted anybody or winning tickets to a cruise. And
certainly didn't distract us.
No. We had to juggle a lot. It's 0-1 on Proctor now. We're in the 8th. The pitch is fouled off third base side, out of play for the kids. Man, those kids are on the ball so fast. I can't believe how fast they got to it.
They're only going to get faster as the season goes on, and they get a little more experience with it.
I know. I thought Chris Lucy was going to have a free ice cream, but it was not to be.
Tragic.
It's 0-2 on Proctor, who's had a great day as well. 2 for 2 with a triple and a single. Has a chance to bring this to within 1. The pitch is outside. It's 1-2.
And if it speaks to the day that Ford Proctor's been having, that sack bunt in the 6th was about a step away from being a hit, and he's really looked good up the middle at second base today.
He's becoming the hitter that we knew he can be and the fielder that he's been proven to be. Stepping off is Marmon.
A middle infielder by trade. You can really put Proctor at either short or second, and he'll get the job done, which is a testament to his baseball IQ.
And he has a couple of times this year played both. The pitch is just a bit outside, and the count is even at 2-2.
I mean, second and short, completely different positions with very, very weighty responsibilities.
You can't let anything go. And Tyler Frank, who had to leave for a Team USA tryout, also played some great infield. This one hits off a pole. Look out as it comes back on the field. Poles are perfectly placed. We almost got one. And then, well, the bat boy almost got one.
We've got today that you couldn't get it again in a million years, Chris.
No.
Range obstructions in the field.
Proctor, he hit one softly toward second for the second out. 7, still a great 4th, and a man in scoring position. This is a good chance to get his first hit of the day.
Throw an RBI on that stat line as well. He knocked in the lone run of the 4th.
7-5 Bourne over Hyannis in the top of the 8th here in Bourne. First pitch is hit in the air to center field. It's going to chase Hannah back, and it is a ground rule double. It bounces over the wall, and it scores a run. What a hit for Newstrom. He gets his first of the day. He drives in a run. It's now 7-6 Bourne. It's a 1-run game, the same score as yesterday.
Gosh, the way the shape of that drive was going, it looked like that would be Newstrom's second consecutive game with a home run.
It certainly looked like it, and then putting his arms up with his hand to let everybody know it was out of play, but it bounced. Again, at McKeon Park in our hometown of Hyannis, probably would have been a home run. So it brings up Brandon Donovan, who's 0 for 2. A strikeout, a ground out, and a sacrifice. He takes called strike one there. But Hyannis scores for the 4th inning tonight, which is big.
Huge.
0-1 is in there for a called strike 2. It looked pretty good. And Donovan is down in a hole. 0-2.
And make that a 6-game hit streak for Robert Newstrom.
Oh, that's quite impressive. The 0-2 outside and high, 1 and 2. Again, very quietly does it. But he's getting hits. He's getting big hits. And he's got another RBI. The 1-2 is high to Donovan, and it's 2 and 2. It would be big for him to get on some way. He's had his fair share of trouble with hitting the ball. He just 125, 3 for his first 24, now 3 for 26 with the 0 for 2 tonight. The 2-2 fouled off third base side, out of play, and the kids are just still right on top of it. There's about 10 of them that went for that ball. They know the importance of the ice cream.
Unstoppable, those kids, and Robert Newstrom standing down on second base.
2-2 on the way. And Donovan hits it out into left field, but foul a long way, gets out of play. Out a bit, and you'd have a tie game.
True, and Chris, in 9 games for Robert Newstrom, he's only failed to reach base safely in 1.
Wow.
And that was the first leg of the doubleheader at Harwich. A shortened game, only 7 innings.
Very impressive numbers. The 2-2 is high, ball 3. Good at bat here by Donovan. He's worked the count full. Hard work by the number 9 hitter, who's playing first base today instead of his usual third. And they want him for his defensive abilities, and he needs to start hitting the full count. Pitch is fouled straight back, and we'll do it again. 3 and 2, big spot in this game. Hyannis only down 1, and the man on second in Newstrom is the tying run. Jake Mangum would be next. 2 for 4 today. The 3-2 pitch is popped up. Oh, it might get out, but it might stay in play. And it stays in just enough for Lynn to make the play. The wind blew it back. And that's it for the 8th. Hyannis gets 1. We head to the bottom of the 8th. They're down 7-6 on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network. We'll be right back. Back on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network, the new pitcher for Hyannis is favorites Christian Tripp, the 6'7", 220 righty out of New Mexico. No ERA this year in 4 1/3 innings. No runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and 3 saves.
The league leaders in saves, as Tripp has really been dominant, shutting the door for the Harbor Hawks this season.
Well, he'll have to keep this at 6. He can't get it, of course, unless Hyannis takes the lead in the top of the 9th, and then he pitches again, where he can get the save, or he could get the win.
Could be liable for the win, yeah. I'm sure he wouldn't mind either.
He'd love it. The team would love it. To do it against 2, 3, and 4, Williams, Witherspoon, and Schreiber, and called strike 1 against Williams. This is Williams' 5th at bat. He has 1 hit. He's 1 for 3. He walked as well. The 0-1 is hit right back at Tripp, but it goes over his head and into center for a base hit. A leadoff single for Williams gets the bottom of the 8th started.
Nice piece from Williams right there. Just jumping on the first thing he sees and riding it right up the middle, too.
And if it gets over Tripp's head, then it's going to get over everybody's head because he's the tallest guy you got out there. Nearly got it with the glove, but brings up Grant Witherspoon, who's also 1 for 3 with a double and a walk, runs scored. Couple of flyouts. First pitch is fouled off behind home plate. The kids are on it once again, out of play. Somebody made a nice catch out there. Caught it on the fly.
Excellent. Witherspoon with 2 RBIs on the game. Drove in the 2 runs, scored in the 4th.
They'll throw over to first to check on Williams. Mr. Williams has 2 hits today. Tripp out there in the stretch. The 0-1 is right there for called strike 2. Quickly down is Witherspoon. And Hyannis needs 3 quick outs here to try in the top of the 9th. They'll throw over again. Or else it would be another 7-6 loss, and you don't want that.
Especially going into a doubleheader tomorrow. That'll be a long one.
Pitch is low. It's 1-2.
Although the Harbor Hawks are saved 4 innings in that doubleheader, as there'll be 2 7-inning games played at McKeon Park.
The 1-2 from Tripp. Breaking ball. Fouled off. Just got a piece to stay alive, and it's still 1-2.
7-inning games, depending upon whether or not we see extra innings, as we saw in the second leg of the Harwich doubleheader, which ended in 9 in a tie, because in a doubleheader you can't go past.
That was a scoreless tie, which is certainly rare. The 1-2 is hit out into right field, but right at Newstrom. He makes the play, and there's 1 out.
Newstrom didn't have to move an inch to make the play.
Brings up Scott Schreiber, who is 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. Not the guy you want at the plate. He's really terrorized the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in these past 2 days, and he's not done yet.
That's true, but a nice challenge for Christian Tripp. This is why you come out here, Chris. You see the best of the best. That's what Tripp wants, and in a guy like Schreiber, that's what he gets.
Right, a guy like Tripp wants to pitch to these guys. He's had a good year so far, and he wants that challenge and to get it out against their best hitter. 1 out. It's 1-0. The pitch missed low. We're here in the bottom of the 8th. It's 7-6 Bourne, and no, this is not a replay from yesterday. It's 7-6 Bourne again in Bourne.
Schreiber 6 for 14 on the CCBL season.
The 1-0 on the way. It's in the dirt. Good stop by DiCaprio. It's 2-0.
DiCaprio again, almost like a hockey goalie back there, as when the ball goes outside and he has to block it, he sticks that leg out there as if making a pad save.
Very natural reaction, I would have to say. Swing and a miss, strike one. 2-1 the count on Schreiber. I mean, at least if I was going to catch now, that's exactly what I would do. I'd probably kick the ball instead of catch it.
Shows some flexibility from DiCaprio, as he probably doubles as a first baseman at times as well. So he can make the stretch as well as the block.
The 2-1 is a breaking ball fouled off first base side. Out of play, the kids on this side of the field are on it. They're probably about 20. The kids are stuck around. It's summer. They don't have to be in bed.
Nope. Clamoring for the ball, too. Everyone going into the stands just drives out a bunch of squeals.
Very cool atmosphere here today as they throw over again. It's the fourth time they've thrown over. Turned into a nice night here in Bourne, though. 2-2, runner goes. Pitch is in the dirt, and a stolen base for Williams. No throw from DiCaprio, as he couldn't scoop the ball out of the dirt. Schreiber 2 for 4. He's got a full count here. Hit will drive in a big insurance run. Trips 3-2, runner goes. The pitch is grounded right back up the middle. It's a base hit coming around, and scoring is Williams, and it is 8-6 Bourne on the RBI single, the third hit of the night for Schreiber.
Staying alive against Christian Tripp, waiting for his pitch and then driving it. It's why Schreiber has just seen so much success at the plate early on here in the CCBL season and was able to roll it over from his season playing in the Big Ten for Nebraska.
Good game again. 3 for 5, 600 on the day. As this brings up Lyle Lynn, who's had another good day. He's 2 for 2. One on, one out. Go ahead.
Sack bunt and a walk to his name.
Pitch is grounded towards first. They're going to go to second to get one, and no, the ball dropped. They say the ball, they say he's out. It was on the transfer. They get lucky, and Schreiber's out, and there's 2 away, so it's a fielder's choice for Lynn. I don't know about that.
Hunter Stovall's hands too quick for his own good there, just bottling it on the transfer. It looked to me as though he did step on second with firm possession of the ball.
Umpire had a good view of it. And it goes Hyannis' way as Jake Alou steps in. He has a double and a run scored. He's 1 for 4. 1 on, 2 out. First pitch is fouled off. Look out, fans. Is that one? Did that hit somebody? It looked like it did hit somebody out there. Looked like it hit actually a smaller child out there.
We hope everybody's okay. Seems as though people have the situation under control.
The ball ricocheted quickly back into the playing surface. It's 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And it's 0-2 on the 6-hitter Alou. Tripp already gave up 1 run this inning. It's 8-6 Hyannis trailing. The 0-2 is just a bit outside, and they count 1-2.
Jake Alou standing at the plate. Led Boston College in batting average this year with a .331 clip. Not bad coming out of the ACC.
The 1-2 is just fouled off to stay alive. It's 1-2. I'll do it again.
Also holds the all-time hit record at Princeton Day School. Nice program out there. Northern Jersey. Same town as, of course, the famed Princeton.
Pitch is outside, 2-2.
You might like this, Chris. Princeton Day School, also the former high school of Fish lead guitarist and singer Trey Anastasio. I know you're a jam band guy.
Yes. I recognize that name. He's guested with Dave Matthews a few times. The 2-2 is grounded towards second. And no, they don't get the tag. They can't get the tag. Proctor tried to apply the tag to Lynn going to second, but he dropped the ball, and everybody's safe.
And you can hear Coach Harvey Shapiro down the third base line yelling, "Everything's slippery out there," as Hunter Stovall misses one on the transfer from hand to glove, and then Ford Proctor showing many a slip twixt the cup and the lip, as my father used to say, up the middle.
So it's a fielder's choice. We'll see if they give Proctor an error for dropping the ball. And Logan McRae steps in and hits a broken bat looper towards short right into the glove of Stovall. F6, and that ends the inning, but one more run put on the board by Bourne. They lead 8-6 as we head to the top of the ninth. Last chance for Hyannis to get a pair of runs across. We'll be right back on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Back on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network, Chris Walker and Chris Lucy getting ready for the top half of the ninth inning, where Mangum, Hampton, and Robinson will have their last chance.
Now pitching for the Braves, number 38 from the University of Nebraska.
There's a new pitcher, Chad Linsman,
leading up for the Harbor Hawks,
from
number 1,
University of Nebraska, Lincoln. No ERA, 2 innings pitched so far this season, and Chris Lucy has more on him.
43 1/3 inning pitched out in Nebraska this year, 33 strikeouts to his name, and batters facing him, 163 of them, only batted .239.
Well, he's going to have to face the top of the order. And this is the last chance for the Harbor Hawks. They need 2 to tie. They're down 8-6. And the first pitch from Linsman is fouled off the net in front of the blockhouse behind home plate. And it's 0-1. Mangum today is 2 for 4. Been caught stealing twice. He does have 1 steal and a run scored. The 0-1 is swung on and missed, and it's quickly 0-2.
Linsman was on the preseason stopper of the year watch list, according to the NCBWA.
The 0-2 on the way to Mangum. The pitch is called. Strike 3. Looked inside. And that's a called strike 3. And there's one out for Reese Hampton.
From the University of North Carolina, Reese Hampton.
Looked low to me.
Was a little bit low indeed, yeah, but Lynn's been also sharing the closing duties at Nebraska this year with his Braves teammate, Luis Alabardo, who had an appearance for the Braves last night.
Reese Hampton comes in 0 for 4 on the day. First pitch to him is called strike 1. That was a low pitch that they just called strike 3.
Tough one for Mangum to go out on. He struck out in the 9th as well last night.
The pitch is inside 1-1, and we don't want to see that happen again.
No. But Reese Hampton also a strikeout victim in the bottom of the 9th yesterday.
Pitch is in there for called strike 2. It's 1-2. And I know what you're going to say, because I'll tell you what, last night it was Robinson that was also a strikeout in the bottom of the 9th yesterday. The pitch is grounded towards short. Brown's there. Fields fires in time. 2 away. And the Harbor Hawks are down to their final out, and it's Daniel Robinson.
From Central Michigan University.
Robinson is 1 for 3. And a walk in there.
Robinson 1 for 3 last night as well. It's who you'd want up right now, Chris. Somebody who's reliable, who gets on base, and also is a smart base runner with some speed as well. If you can hit balls on the ground that just get their way out of the infield, you have trouble with a guy like Robinson on the bags.
First pitch is outside 1-0. Micah Coffey would be the next batter. He's 0 for 3. Don DiCaprio would be after him. He's 0 for 4. Pitch is in there, strike 1. It's 1-1.
Have to watch that low outside corner as it froze up Mangum.
The 1-1 fouled off, and the Harbor Hawks are down to their final strike.
Young fan out there made a nice catch on the fly as that foul ball bounced off the top of the concession stand.
I'm sure it's that concession stand has a very, very good roof.
Or a very leaky one.
Either that or leak. Yes, very may well be leaky. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It was foul tipped into the glove of Lynn, and that's the game. The Harbor Hawks dropped 2 in a row to Bourne, and their losing streak is now 4 games.
On the third base side, will be instructed on when to go onto the field.
It's just been a tough stretch for the Harbor Hawks, and it's almost as if you can't look at these last 2 games as losses because it's been so close. They've been able to fight. They've put runs on the board. It's just they've gotten themselves behind the 8 ball too early in games and way back at the end. These Bourne Braves giving them everything they can handle on both ends of the field, both pitching-wise and hitting.
You score 12 runs in 2 games and lose both of them, and that's how the Harbor Hawks fall to 3-6-1. We'll be back in just a moment to wrap it up on our post-game show. It's the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Back for the post game on the Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Walker And Chris Lucy, well, this game started off just the exact way opposite of the Harbor Hawks wanted it to. Bourne scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning, and Hyannis tied it back up in the next top half of the second inning, and we were all ready for a very close game.
Yeah, but Brooks Crawford getting chased out of the game way too early after only 3 2/3 innings pitched, because he left that first inning with a pitch count of 41, and the tiredness that he carried over into the rest of the outing really ended up tripping him badly and put the Harbor Hawks way too far behind the 8 ball to keep things going and have a chance of actually coming back and winning this one.
MD Johnson went 3 2/3 innings last night to start it off. The starters are not giving us enough length, and that's plain and simple. The first time around, everything went well. We just couldn't score. Now we're scoring. They have 12 runs in their last 2 games with the Harbor Hawks, and they have 2 losses.
And it just, these games between yesterday and today are just looking way too similar, as we have a bottom of the 9th last night that ends with 3 strikeouts, and then a top of the 9th today that has a pair of strikeouts sandwiching a 6-3 ground out. It's just been a lack of opportunism for the Harbor Hawks as they've come down the stretch where they need it most. And you're not setting yourself up to succeed when you have pitchers being chased out of games early. You have pitchers getting behind in counts and just honestly struggling to get batters out by being wild and missing their spots.
Another case in this game of runs being walked in. You know, a run getting walked in is about as bad as it gets in baseball. And it's just really inexcusable. I mean, there were more good things for Hyannis in this game. They scored runs in 4 innings, which is something they really haven't done all season. But at this point, it's starting to get to the point in the season where it doesn't matter how many positives you can find. A loss is a loss, and now they're 3-6-1.
And that's 4 in a row for the Harbor Hawks that they've dropped. And, you know, a 4-for-4 night from Hunter Stovall just being obscured by the cloud that's hanging over this team.
Well, they'll try again tomorrow in the 2-game doubleheader, 2 7-inning game doubleheader at home against Cotuit. What are you looking forward to tomorrow?
Well, I'm looking forward to the start of the Patriot Series. The Harbor Hawks weren't able to pull out the Patriot Series win last year, as it's a best-of-6 game series every year between the 2 teams native to Barnstable, Massachusetts. The Harbor Hawks just barely dropping that one, although they ended up making the playoffs and Cotuit didn't. It's just going to be the start of a fun bit of competition between these 2 teams, and we'll see some real passion out on the field tomorrow.
And hopefully a chance for the Harbor Hawks to break this 4-game losing streak in one of the 2 games. But until then, for Chris Lucy, I'm Chris Walker signing off. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. start.